head, and I found out I would just write songs about things that happened. And then there's a little mystery in there because you can write a song.
The Life and Sad Ending of Tom T. Hall. Tom T. Hall was born Thomas Hall on May 25, 1936, in Olive Hill, Kentucky, the U.S. As a teenager, he organized a band called the Kentucky Travelers that performed before movies for a traveling theater. During a stint in the Army, Hall performed over the Armed Forces Radio Network and wrote comic songs about Army experiences. Following his time in the Army, he used the GI Bill program to enroll at Roanoke College, where he worked as a disc jockey. His early career included being a radio announcer at WRON, a local radio station in Ronsford, West Virginia. Hall was also an announcer at WMOR 1330 AM in Moorhead, Kentucky. Hall was also an announcer at WSPZ, which later became WVRC Radio in Spencer, West Virginia in the 1960s. Hall's big songwriting break came in 1963, when country singer Jimmy C. Newman recorded his song, DJ for a Day. In 1964, Hall moved to Nashville and started to work as a $50 a week songwriter for Nuki's Music, the publishing company belonging to Newman and his business partner Jimmy Key, writing up to half a dozen country songs per day. Key suggested that he add the middle initial T to his name. Hall has been nicknamed the Storyteller, and he has written songs for dozens of country stars, including Johnny Cash, George Jones, Loretta Lynn, Waylon Jennings, Alan Jackson, and Bobby Bare. One of his earliest successful songwriting ventures, Harper Valley PTA, recorded in 1968 by Jeannie C. Riley, hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and Hot Country Singles, charts a week apart, sold over 6 million copies, and won both a Grammy Award and CMA Award. The song would go on to inspire a motion picture and television program of the same name. Hall himself has recorded this song on his album, The Definitive Collection. Hall's recording career took off after Riley's rendition of the song, releasing a number of hits from the late 1960s through the early 1980s. Some of Hall's biggest hits include A Week in a Country Jail, Watermelon Wine, I Love, Country A's, The Year Clayton Delaney Died, I Like Beer, Faster Horses, That Song Is Driving Me Crazy, and many others. He is also noted for his children-oriented songs, including Sneaky Snake and I Care, the latter of which hit #1 on the country charts in 1975. In 1979, Hall appeared on the PBS music program Austin City Limits during Season 4. Hall has largely been retired from writing new material since 1986 and from performing since about 1994. His last public performance, which was also his first in several years, was in 2011. His 1996 song Little Bitty from the album Songs from Sopchoppy became a #1 single that year when it was recorded by Alan Jackson for the album Everything I Love. In 1998, his 1972 song Old Dogs, Children, and Watermelon Wine came in second in a BBC Radio 2 poll to find the UK's favorite easy listening record, despite never having been a hit in the UK and being familiar to Radio 2 listeners mostly through occasional plays by DJ Terry Wogan. His song I Love, in which the narrator lists the things in life that he loves, was used, with altered lyrics and a hard rock arrangement, in a popular 2003 TV commercial for Coors Light, and also used in 2014 in a TV advertisement for Clipper Teas. On July 3, 2007, he released the CD Tom T. Hall Sings Miss Dixie and Tom T. on his independent bluegrass label, Blue Circle Records. On June 1, 2014, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Watermelon Wine #93 in their list of the 100 greatest country songs. Hall succeeded Ralph Emery as host of the syndicated country music TV show Pop Goes the Country in 1980 and continued until the series ended in 1982. He also composed the theme song for Fishin' with Orlando Wilson. In the mid to late 1970s, Hall was a commercial spokesperson for Chevrolet trucks. During his career years from 1963 to 2011, he has won many Nobel Awards, such as in 1973, Hall won the Grammy Award for Best Album Notes for the notes he wrote for his album Tom T. Hall's Greatest Hits. He was nominated for but did not win the same award in 1976 for his album Greatest Hits Vol. 2. He has been a member of the Grand Ole Opry since 1971. Together with his wife, Dixie Hall, he won the Bluegrass Songwriter of the Year award in the years 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2013, 2014, and 2015, awarded annually by the Society for the Preservation of Bluegrass Music of America. Hall was inducted into the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame in 2002. On February 12, 2008, Hall was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. In regard to Hall's longer than anticipated wait to be inducted, he attributed it to being somewhat reclusive and not well liked among the Nashville music industry, noting that he almost never collaborated with other songwriters, and by the 1990s was largely out of step with the corporate style of country music. In November 2018, Hall and his wife Dixie Hall were inducted into the International Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame. On June 13, 2019, Hall was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Of all the honors he had received in his lifetime, he considered the Songwriters Hall of Fame induction to be his proudest moment and the pinnacle of his achievement, also stating he was taken by surprise for even being considered. In personal life, Tom Hall was married to bluegrass songwriter and producer Dixie Hall from 1969 until her death on January 16, 2015. Dixie Hall was born Iris Lawrence in the West Midlands, England, in 1934, and emigrated to the U.S. in 1961. They lived in Franklin, Tennessee. Tom and Dixie met at a 1965 Music Industry Award dinner she was invited to for having written the song Truck Drivin' Son of a Gun, which became a hit for Dave Dudley. Hall has a son, Dean Hall, from his 1961 marriage to Opal Hootie McKinney from Grayson, Kentucky. In the early 80s, Dean Hall, who is a singer, musician, and songwriter, worked for his father, first as a roadie and then as a guitar player, before joining Bobby Bear's band. Some sources say the reason why he has not appeared in public since 2011 is because there are many other popular music genres now, and partly because his health is no longer the same as before. Probably right now is his worst time when his health is slowly deteriorating. Thank you for listening to the story about the life of Tom T. Hall. Like and comment on your opinion in the comments section below.